Goldylocks Productions celebrates 5 years of broadcasting spiritual and metaphysical shows. Thank you to our devoted listeners and viewers. Season 6 begins now. Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Goldylocks Productions presents Enlightening Conversations with Pam Silver Eagle.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Perch. It is September 1st, and we are in the midst of the full moon energies and, of course, the celebration of the anniversary of Goldylocks Productions platform. And what a joy and an honor for me, relatively new as a host here on the platform, just a couple months now. And I want to just give a shout of gratitude out to Tiffany and for having the vision and creating this amazing platform, following her guidance and knowing how important it would be at this great shift, this time of the great shift, this great awakening to bring in a team of hosts that offer such a diverse sacred offerings and with their gifts, teachings. We've got a whole lot of new things coming on. So if you haven't checked out the Goldylocks social media, check out the website, check out the Facebook page, and you will see all the amazing things that are coming. And I am also super thrilled that I have one of my very dear sacred soul sisters, Alania Starhawk, is on the show with us today. So I want to say welcome, Alania. I am so grateful for you to have landed here with us.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I want to read just a little bit for those of you who are not familiar with Alania. She has been, really committed to her soul mission for a very long time, and such a very trusted and, humble and enlightening way as a wayshower. And I can, speak for myself, and I'll talk a little bit more about this, but, Alania to me has been one of the, we've grown in our friendship as we remembered, oh, I know this soul and we have done this before. And, as we all in our humanness, we all need assistance. We all need the support of loved ones who we know we can trust. And Alania has been one of those souls for me as a go-to. And I just want to say how grateful. I know I speak it often to you, and but I personally am so grateful for you, Alania Starhawk, for showing up in the way in the large ways that you do. So thank you.
Thank you, my beautiful sister. There's just excitement flowing through, excitement that you and I get to live this reality. I mean, authentically sharing love, right? This is the love that is so pure, and it. We have felt it, where we just support each other in that space. This is the new earth relationship. This is pure soul connection, and I'm so thankful to share this with you and to so many people who are gathering to join us here today, because you have such a following, Pam. You have so many people who admire your work and everything you share, and I'm so thankful for the community I have. But I remember years ago, I woke up one morning and thought, I am in the midst of masters. I mean, I just knew it. I knew it, that moment of transformation where you no longer see yourself as the human you've always been. It's a little girl that stands here and does this and shows this. It's suddenly you're coming into your mastery, even when you don't know what that means. Mm-hmm. But you know that there are skills and talents and these inspirations flowing through, and you're willing to let them rise. You're willing to let them be seen. And that's exactly what you do when you take people on your walkabouts, right? It's like you don't know what to expect, but you know that you are supporting them in this journey, and your soul will know when to open an initiation up, when to reveal something of power. And life is working the same way for both of us. So thankful to be here.
Hey, I know. So I'm going to read a little bio for those of you
Okay.
who may not be familiar with Alania.
Mm-hmm.
Alania Starhawk is a divine channel. She is a sacred visionary and a spiritual mentor. But most of all, she is a truth seeker. During her life's most profound moment of challenge and transformation, she allowed big questions like, who am I? And what is this life for? To push her into new realms of conscious discovery. Her curiosity led her into direct communication with God and the divine, which also awakened an intimate relationship with her own infinite power and potential. Alania is now passionate about supporting humanity's evolution and spiritual awakening. She encourages us to rise from our own self-imposed limitations so that we can learn to trust in the blessings that are available to us always, right here, right.
Mm-hmm.
She teaches us to access our inner source of wisdom, truth, and love. And one of the things we're going to get to, and we're just in the flow because that's how Alania and I roll.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to congratulate her. She has just published is this your first? This is your first book, isn't it?
Oh, this is my first of many because there
Oh,
are so many waiting to come through now, but it's my first book.
so congratulations! So excited for you.
Thank you.
This
Thank
is
you.
divine self awakening into sacred remembrance. She activates the cellular memories of our own empowered truth, which that's such a powerful statement, our own
Mm-hmm.
empowered truth. In her words, we are so much more than we imagine ourselves to be. And so,
Oh.
oh,
Oh.
oh, love that. Oh, so
Yes. Isn't that the
along,
journey for all
yeah.
of us? Mm-hmm.
So would you like to start out by talking about this book, or how would you?
Let me say, because I think all of us who are listening, we're all on these individual journeys, right? We're all amazed at where our life kind of twists and turns. But I do believe we're all on a very similar journey as well. We're on these journeys where we move through life as we think we must move through life. And then one day we wake up and realize it's not enough. We want more. And I think that moment when we recognize this isn't enough, I don't think it's meant to make us feel small. I think it's meant to inspire us, to ignite our soul, to really awaken the possibilities. If this is not enough, what else is possible? And that's what I said. My journey came through questioning. My journey came through asking God and the divine, there must be more. Show me more. And in that innocence, because I didn't know the spiritual community existed, I wouldn't have understood the concept of higher consciousness. It wasn't there for me. I was faithful, and that was it.
Same for
And
me.
yep. And I remember just being brokenhearted about life. Just I've done everything in my entire life, and now I'm here feeling very lost and without direction. So every night I would pray to God, show me more. There has to be more. And there was an awareness that God must see a brighter me than I can see for myself. So I just directed the question upward and said, show me who really am. Remind me of who I truly am. And honestly, on a human level, I thought that meant, oh, look, you're a great mom. Or look, you can bake cookies. I'm like, I'm like, I had no idea that they would remind me that I was a star seed and that I'm a master of this earth and I am attuning all these beautiful souls to the vibration of sacred love. I mean, that wasn't even in my realm of awareness. And it took years and years and years for them to introduce this truth to me, for me to really accept it as myself, right? This is
Yes.
my truth.
Yes.
And I don't think it's in competition with the earthly realm at all. I think it gives expansion to this earthly realm. I think it allows us to feel empowered while we're still part of everything that goes on in the earthly realm. And that's what this book, Divine Self, is all about. It's not encouraging people to go on a journey that brings you elsewhere. It encourages you to stand right where you are and to clear away all the negative beliefs, all of the self-imposing limitations. It allows you to stand right where you are and bring the divine into this space, into this moment, into your heart, into everything that supports you. And that's what changes everything, right? That's what changes when you realize the more is already here. I just have to choose it.
Absolutely. And, we're at such a pivotal time on the earth plane here with humanity. And, you and I talked about this a little bit the other day, that, there's a real, this is the mastery of learning to be here in our human suits in the 3D. And, if we funnel that down to, and I've been talking a lot the last couple of months on my show because my living space has been here as a caregiver with my parents. And so when you talk of community, if you and I were sitting around talking all these months, it'd be a little different. But when we really, are present in the now and present with all of our brothers and sisters, no matter where we are along our journey, and everything that's, going on, and the mastery of being able to pick and choose what painting our reality, our own realities, and, being, I would say, compassionate to the stuff that's going on around us. And yet, what is my truth? Like you said, what is your truth? And it takes a lot of mastery to really be, because I know for myself, when I think, or when I recognize, I'll say that's not more than think, when I recognize, oh, my expansion, then more lessons always come as to, these mastery lessons as to, let's go a little deeper and expand a little more in this mastery. And, for me, most of the time, probably it's fair to say for everyone, is the really heart-centered stuff. When we have all this work to do on the healings, and when we start discovering that much of what we've been told, belief systems, etc., whether it be, worship or even, lineage stuff, and we start going, wow, this isn't resonating. We start kind of breaking out of that, and then we start asking these questions. And so, I have, admittedly, I told Alania, so I have not read her book, but knowing Alania and what, I would like whatever you want to feel to flow as far as where we're at and what's within that book that you feel guided to share with this mastery in the now, and being able to do that at this time. That's big.
Absolutely. Well, first I want to point out about everything you were just sharing. We're all on these evolutionary journeys, right? We're all kind of peeling away the layers so that we can trust in the love, we can trust in the peace, we can trust in our own beauty. But sometimes we think that being divine means that we've already reached that height, that, oh, we totally get it. We are shining. We are doing our thing. We are riding the rainbows, right? And it's like, oh, she's divine. But that's not the way I see it. Okay. That's only part of it. In my opinion, being divine is being authentic.
Yes.
You have to be part of the journey, because if I just think I'm divine by flying into the higher realms, I won't have any awareness of what it all really symbolizes. I mean, we're on a soul journey. We're here to learn. We're here to remember. And those twists and turns that I was talking about, I try to look at them as opportunities, experiences, but they're fleeting. Every single one of them is fleeting. When I feel very, very human, I get twisted, and then I think I'm stuck. I think that my whole life has to change. And I think that twisting challenge is defining me. When I'm in my divine state of awareness, I can understand this is uncomfortable. I don't really like this. I'd like to move forward. And my focus is on how can I authentically feel acknowledge, and then transform. So by being in this divine state, it doesn't mean I'm in a greater, higher, more removed state from anybody else in the universe. It just means that I'm able to, I connect to my empowerment. I recognize that I am my own sacred source. Okay, so that's what it's about. It's not about shining the brightest. It's about you feeling like you feel safe and at home in yourself.
Yes.
So I opened to a couple of pages today. I put a little sticky note, and this was the first quote that I wanted to read. Now, the book is filled with quotes specifically from source, and I've left those in their words exactly. The rest of the book has been guided from source. So to say which is channeled and which isn't, I have no idea. It's all divinely guided. But this one is specifically from source. And the quote says, "Chasms of space are opening within you now, chasms that lead you to your own greatest truth. Let them speak to your soul. Let them awaken the memories of all you have known, for you are the extraordinary made manifest in human form." And I think the universe is trying to remind every single one of us, we already are the mysterious and the wondrous. We are these ancient beings that have walked through all points of time. And although not everyone has to have lifetimes that go up into the thousands and millions, this time on this earth in 2020 is about transformation and change. And to support humanity's evolution, many true enlightened beings and masters have chosen to incarnate. Now, if we incarnated with a great big old sign that said, "Hey, I'm an enlightened one," we wouldn't be able to do any of our work. We had to come in here just as everyone does. We had to come in, we had to feel, we had to be pushed up against walls, we had to question all reality. And at some point, hopefully, every master, everyone that truly has the wisdom within, recognizes that sometimes truth is known within. Sometimes it can't be validated outwardly. Sometimes it's not because everyone else believes it. Sometimes it's because it's personal to you. It's about learning to discern your path. And that's really what this whole book is about, giving us the power back to say, what's your truth, right? What's my truth? And every time I ever, and you can understand this, we've had conversations about this, every time I've ever doubted myself, every time I've felt horrible about my choices or whatever I was a part of, I have spirit right here with me. Spirit, they are so compassionate, so loving. They don't even push me into a new path. Spirit, because I've cultivated this beautiful relationship, Spirit just sits here smiling at me, just smiling. And it used to upset me. Okay, it used to upset me going, really? But now they sit there smiling and they wait for me to say, all right, I'd like to move through this easily, right? I'd like to kind of welcome your support, open the doors, remove myself from my own funky thoughts, and accept the blessings that are already mine. And that right there, this is why you walk out there in nature every day, is to feel the connection, to know the connection. Because if we only see ourselves as human, it's too challenging. Human is a beautiful gift, but it's only one half of the whole. And learning how to merge the two, bringing heaven to earth, learning how to be earthly divine, all of this is what we are here for. I'm sure you have thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, yes, absolutely. And it is such an empowering truth. And I love, what you're saying in your book as you're guiding people. And I can speak this even as an educator in the public school system for almost 30 years. It was part of what really started to become so difficult for me because, and I know it's a kind of a stereotype because there are other, different schools doing different things, but overall the public school model in our nation has been, we're we're raising kids out of cookie cutter molds. And, you know, everything from you must stand in line and be silent and this and that. And just, you know, everything is so linear. And Alania and I have a dear friend, sister who's doing education right down in the St. Petersburg and Gulfport, Florida. So I give a shout out to Kaya Belcher and what she's created at creative play school. Seeing the children, they're so tuned in and now seems more than ever, and holding them in the way that they come in naturally and guiding them, but not, you know, controlling their thoughts or their actions. It's the loving, nurturing guidance, and within that system, you know, tuning kids in to nature again, like you said, and learning, teaching the oneness and how to be with one another and honor emotions and feelings and each other's own creativity. And, you know, so, you know, those of us that have been around a while on the planet, you know, we've had to do a lot of healing. And, you know, so what we're speaking of is to, when we started realizing that things didn't resonate with us, whatever those things were, we started seeking our truth. And, you know, so that's, you know, it's really, it's an important and a powerful empowerment. And, you know, I think as we create this new earth, all these systems collapsing, that's what we're doing, is starting to be in more that divine feminine, masculine balance. And how do we coexist in the great web of life? You know? Yeah.
The free expression, right? Because if we are all divine beings, right? We're all divine beings. There's a voice from within that knows how to guide ourselves forward. The truth is, we've quieted and doused that voice, that light, for so long because we were told as children, stand here, you know, achieve this, prove this to me. We were never given the freedom to just be who we are. So when I was out in Oregon, I went to Mount Shasta and Oregon, that we have in common, right? So we were just above the border of California. And I do tell this story later in the book. I do tell this story. But when I was walking, they have those beautiful cliffs there, you know, when you're just walking down and looking at those beautiful, majestic, you know, forms of rock in the water.
I remember some of those photos.
Yeah, so beautiful.
Yeah.
My heart's there. I really have to get back. But as I was walking down, I have a very present walk when I'm walking in nature, as I know you do. I'm just listening.
Yes.
I'm just listening. I'm tuning in. And what happened was I started to hear this, it felt like a blowing from a shell, this huge horn coming from the right. And I knew it was energetic. I knew this was on the higher planes. So I paused and I'm waiting and I'm looking with my third eye and I couldn't see anything. So I kept walking and I hear it again. And then forward comes a grandfather, a great ancient grandfather. And this isn't just one of the tribal people over the last couple of thousand years. These are one of the first peoples of this earth. He was very clear about that. These are one of the first peoples of this earth, and they were watching me to see my walk. They wanted to see if I was worthy of carrying this information and this truth. And he taught me many things that day. He came and he sat with me and he taught me many things about the way they lived. But one of the things that was really profound is he said, we understand the place, the purpose each soul has in the collective, you know, in the mandala of life, right? In the sacred geometry, every soul is needed. And they say before a soul is born, they pray for whatever guidance might be needed, whatever blessings, whatever benefits. They pray that a child will be born to bring in that information from the spirit realms into the earthly realms.
Wow.
They're actually the way that the divinity actually enters into this earth plane. And when this child arrives, and it happens for each child, when this child arrives, they don't tell all the stories about what's supposed to be and what should be, what they take the child by the hand, and they showed me in a lot of different ways, but let's say they would take him to the water. They would take the child to the water, and they would be still, and they would ask the child, what do you see? What do you feel? What do you sense? And they would take the child into the woods, and they would ask, what do you see? What do you sense? What do you, because they knew whatever instincts were coming from within were the messages they were here to bring. We weren't supposed to all match each other. We weren't supposed to be the same. We were all supposed to contribute to a whole. And this is that dynamic that has been lost. And in the work that I do personally, have you ever, I'm sure you've done this, in all the work, and I've been devoted, I just passed through August 8th was 12 years of me doing this work full-time professionally. So I've worked with a lot of people over this time. And the one thing that almost makes everybody come to tears, the one thing is when I authentically say, I see you. That single concept, I see you, and people melt because they know I'm seeing their soul. They know I'm seeing their truth. And this is something that we really need to bring back, that understanding that I see you in your messiness, right? In your beauty, in your authenticity, in your ignorance. It doesn't matter. I see you, and I think you're absolutely perfect the way that you are. And that's what we're coming back to. And that's what I think the ancestors are trying to bring back in.
Yes, that is so, so powerful in that statement. I see you. It really is. And in, you know, where we've been as a culture and the busyness and the disconnect with, technology, I watched the generations, coming in that I taught for so many years. I watched the cycle happen, even from, relatively speaking, a small period of time that I was teaching, and this disconnect. And so I have been on the other end of I see you. So thank you. And I try to use it as well. And even that eye contact, I've got my dark shades on, but when we look to each other into the eyes, of course, into the soul, and there is such a deep connection and a loving presence when we do that. And, in so many cultures, even it's forbidden. And, that was one of the things that in my final couple years of teaching, I would, I'd look at the kids straight on, and so many of them are so uncomfortable looking into the eyes, or even saying hello. And so I noticed too, as I'm out and about in our culture now, just especially with this last however many months we've all been on this great global reset, people are, there is a lot of fear, and people, I can remember as a kid growing up, and you'd pass and you'd say hello. And I was taught to say hello, of course, and to, especially the elders, and to respect. And we've lost that for a long time. And I do agree. And I believe this is what's coming back. Sometimes when I say hello to people when I'm out and about, they almost, I can feel the energy like, what do you want? What do you want? What does this one want? Because she's taking the time to be present with me. And so there's a lot of teachings that are important to as we go through this healing. And we're in the midst of all this, putting the rebuilding and healing.
So you mentioned something that to me is important, but I have to remind myself all the time. When there's that resistance, when there's that disconnect, when there's that kind of harshness coming to us or existing in the world, all of it is birthed out of defense, right?
Sure.
All of it is initiated because at some level, someone doesn't feel safe. And this is why I have to be very cautious with my own tendencies, because I want to fight against injustice. And there are many, many things happening in the world. Don't need to discuss any of them, right? Because this is about a life lesson. When I notice something that seems like it's a conflict outwardly, this is when I try, as a light being, to come back into my heart, and I really call in the divine. And then I ask to see all the people, not just two people, all of the people who are feeling unsafe, all of the people who are feeling misunderstood, all the people who are feeling alone, that they really do recognize that we're working towards coming back together, towards supporting each other, towards hearing each other, right? Not agreeing. That's different. That would be a whole different but towards hearing each other, towards acknowledging that we all have a voice that's important. And so
Absolutely.
I do a lot of my own light work on the silent realms. I do a lot of it behind. And I'm saying this because
Mhm.
some people really want to know how to help. And you know, they're very sensitive beings. It's not easy for them to get into the fight. But I want to remind everyone that if you know how to hold that beautiful prayer in your heart, to bring love, to bring authenticity, to bring community, compassion, and acceptance into this earth plane, you're doing the work.
Mhm. That's a real good point. And I was listening to Laura, who's on the platform a little earlier today. She does the angel readings, and she was kind of closing out the show by saying just that, we all have our different walks here and, different things that we're offering, but everybody, everyone, like you're saying, sometimes things can feel so massive when we so many, so much going on and in our personal lives, but also globally, that, I often hear people, and I can remember when I was younger in a little different belief, a little, I would say confined, restricted belief, of how can I make a difference? And, just always being an empath and so sensitive and compassionate about things that were going on. How can just one person, and then as we expand and we learn, just like you said, we contribute energetically in that divine essence of love and compassion. And we can, whether it be send up prayers or just envision, you know, the peace, or if someone is seemingly suffering, that, just seeing them enfolded in love. There's so many ways we can do that. And that's a really important point for sure. Mm-hmm.
Another big teaching I talk about at the end of the book is about human evolution. And sometimes it feels too overwhelming, right? All of it just feels too overwhelming. But you just mentioned something, excuse me, is that each and every one of us, we're one voice, we're one spirit. Nobody on this earth plane has more life force flowing through them, right, in potential, than you do or I do, any other. I'm like, all of us are connected to source. All of us have the ability to draw upon this boundless energy and direct it towards a prayer, towards a vision, towards something that is desirable. Well, when I hold my vision towards peace, especially seeing children being loved, that's a vibration. It's an energy. It's a truth. It's not me going out and putting my hand on someone. We're connecting to the energy grid that creates this reality. So if my prayer is going out and feeding this energy, this information, this vibration into the collective grid, guess what? Every other soul who is in their own home quietly praying for children to be loved, now that vibrational prayer is actually resonating with my prayer. It's the same exact energy. So it's linking and attaching to my prayer. And all those prayers become greater and greater and greater because it's a force now that says humanity wants children to be loved. It's happening on every single thing, all the thoughts that move through this world. They're all vibrational frequencies. So the more that we believe in our bodies being intelligent, whole, healthy, and healed, the more all of us are uniting those prayers and making it an actuality at this exact moment on the earth plane. So this is why an individual prayer matters, because no one has more power than I do. When you and I unite together, we begin to really shift the veils. You know, what do I say? Lift the veils and shift the tides. Yep.
Absolutely. That's
Mm-hmm.
right on. Oh. What else?
Mm-hmm.
What else would? Here's what. Just kind of looking, keep an eye on the time. As time goes by so quickly. What else? If there's anything else, and there's so much more. If there's anything that stands out that you would like to share from your book, and then would you do the honors of? Would you like to maybe do a channeling for us
Sure.
before we close out? We've got some
Absolutely.
time left. I'm just looking and thinking. Well, I want you an opportunity for you to share anything else from your book, and then
Sure.
go that way.
Sure. Absolutely. I know I put a little note in here, but I'm going to see if it's okay. I know what I highlight. I'm just going to see if my finger opens up to another part.
Love it.
So I think we're going to talk about personal truth because this is personal empowerment, right? And I'm going to bring through a little message afterwards. But
Okay.
this is chapter 10, right? And this is what I just opened to, chapter 10. The quote itself, or let me say the chapter is called Free Will Choice. The quote itself says, see yourself in wholeness as life itself. See yourself as the peace you wish to know, the love you wish to embody, and the joy you wish to embrace. Become that which you wish to be by will. And then my addition to this as the chapter begins, it says, for humanity to gracefully rise from the mire of its programmed existence, we must bring greater understanding to the ethics and concepts of personal responsibility and personal truth. We have all in some way blindly accepted a large number of truths without discerning whether they had any personal resonance with us. We have surrendered our empowered voice by assuming that all implied truth held the same value and significance as personal truth. Mm-hmm. This dynamic is now progressively changing because we are learning to value our own sacred voices above all others. Right? Even in the last, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, you see the shift and change. That we're no longer willing to blindly accept these truths from authority figures or from those who say they want what is best for us. And just to be aware, because sometimes we do feel trapped. And sometimes we have somebody who really cares for us and gives us advice, and it doesn't feel right. Okay? Mm-hmm. The thing is, love that person. Acknowledge they want what's best for you, but they are bringing this advice from their own life story, from their own belief systems. They might be coming out of fear. They might be coming out of lack. They are not living your particular life. They cannot see what you see. You might see something new for yourself. You might see a vision. That might be the reason that you were birthed into this reality, right? You might be here to break an ancestral line, to break an ancestral pattern. So by learning to trust our own sacred voice as the voice of purpose and power in your life, right? Personal truth. This is when we really start to have appreciation for ourselves. Because every single time we think we have to bow down to someone else's truth, there's a sense of measurement. Yes. There's a sense of right and wrong. Are we good enough? Are we not? But if we come to personal truth and we're not expecting anybody else to have to understand it or give us permission, this is just about personal journey, suddenly we're teaching ourselves to live the way we feel, right? Create the way we are guided, to come into our personal experience. So I feel today's message, I'm going to let Spirit bring through a message, but I do think it is about coming into personal empowerment and honoring ourselves. How does that feel?
It's perfect. It's right on what we've been focused on here, this whole conversation. So perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I love you so much, Pam, for creating this space. I'm so thankful.
Thank you.
So for those who have never worked with me before, I'm just going to take a deep breath, but I am going to connect to the divine and all the heavenly realms, all of these beautiful voices of love that wish to speak to us now. And they say the first messages, they sense a lot of busyness, right? How many of us want to connect? How many of us want to receive? But we're so busy, whether we are busy in the act of filling our lives, right? Obligating all of the responsibilities, or in the busyness of chasing expectations of who we should be or who we think we are, even on a spiritual plane. Spirit says there is a lot of busyness. And they ask each of us to practice this beautiful breath of stillness. Just come into a breath. And this breath can be as still, as full, as shallow, as open as you wish it to be, because it is your breath. But in this breath, we're asking you to release from all concepts of what a breath is, for what it's doing for you, what it's connecting you to. We want the mind to let go. And all we are doing is allowing a sacred breath to fill our being. And the reason this is a beautiful practice is because you don't have to know how to breathe. You don't have to know what you are connected to as this breath fills your body. All you know is that you are willing to trust in this sacred flow, right? In the sacred birthing, in the sacred creation of yourself, of your life, of all that is. When we fear the unknown, it is because we feel less than connected to all that is possible. But when we trust the unknown, it's because we trust we are so infinitely connected to self, to source, to God, to creation, to all these guardians, all these gatekeepers, all these angels of light, all who love us. And when we trust that they are all with us, they are here with us, wishing to guide us, wishing to clear the path, wishing to bring healing to the mind and to the body. They are wishing to bring peace to some relationships. They are wishing to bring inspiration. They are wishing to be your muse. They are wishing to clear away all perceptions of a challenging world so that you can see this world as a playground, as an opportunity, as a space for you to live as you choose. And some of you have taken this advice already. You feel it rising from within your soul and you run with it now. And we are so proud of you. We see so many of you starting new paths, pushing yourselves into new experiences and opportunities than you would have in the past. And they say, and still, as brave as you are, you're still holding on to the perception that you're taking a chance. Can we, dear ones, can we bring in this vibration of love and say that when you are following your heart, when you are walking in harmony with the divine, when you are held so sacredly upon this journey, you need not take a chance to find joy, to find love, to find abundance. That you will be able to trust your instincts in each moment, in each breath, in each new stage that arises. And sometimes a shift will be needed. But the truth is, you will be comfortable with that shift. You will understand that it is best for you. The concept of chance no longer holds power for you because the divine holds you. Your path is being supported in miraculous ways. We see this. We see this for so many of you now being brave enough to walk forward. This is the time. It's been ordained that the masters would rise and create paths forward that have not yet been known, right? You are walking paths that have never been created. And we congratulate you and know that you are being supported. And then there are many of you who question what your purpose is. So simple. You know you want to serve. You know you want to be the light. You know you want to bring healing. And yet I see you questioning what your path is. And Spirit says, as long as you are questioning, you are focused on that path being perfect. You are focused on that path being something that's understandable. Perhaps you wake up and your purpose in that single morning, in that single moment, is simply to smile. Maybe your smile is a smile that reverberates through the heavens and starts this beautiful wave of change, of hope, of inspiration. Perhaps your purpose is to rise and to walk through the woods and plant seeds of love that flow through this entire earth plane. Perhaps your purpose is to believe in someone that has forgotten about how beautiful they are. Begin small. Let your purpose be whatever brings you joy in that moment. Maybe your purpose is to tell a story or to dream a dream, but do not undervalue who you are, because not everyone is meant to shine in such magnificent ways outwardly. Sometimes that brilliance is internal. Sometimes it is subtle. Sometimes it is only known upon these etheric realms of infinite being. So you think at times that you are small, and yet we tell you that your light is the light that shines the heavens, that illuminates all darkness. Bring joy into your life as smallly as you are able to, and recognize that concept of small is all just a perception, for you are the greatness you already wish to be. We see that you are here in a gateway of transformation. The full moon is with you now. And to make this simple, we ask all of you to dream bigger than you've allowed yourself to dream. Even if you've just set your intentions in motion this morning, we are telling you there is space for you to dream more greatly. Okay? Dream for yourself, for this world, for your community. Dream in love. Dream passionately. Dream, 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 for this is your journey. Thank you, dear Spirit, for all that is, for all that is, for all that is. May I share a message with you, particularly, Pam?
Please, and thank you.
As I bring through all this energy and I see it going out, right, to everyone who is with us, my awareness comes back. And as my awareness comes back and I look to you, and I suddenly see rings of golden light, of golden energy. And it's almost as if these individual points of spheres, these golden spheres, right? Hundreds, thousands, whatever it is, they're making rows and rows and rings around you, almost as if they're cocooning you in this new light, right? In this new golden frequency. And what this will do will help you to clear away the old tethers of resistance, of doubt, of fear, and help you to be at home in the mastery that is flowing through. And as I see you coming into the mastery, I see so many other human beings gathering with you, those masters who are awakening to these same energies. Some of them I see with you in this circle now, those who are listening to us today, rising and saying, yes, yes, it feels so personal to them, right? It's just everyone who wants to be in this divine frequency is welcome here. But you know very well it takes a level of bravery and confidence to choose peace, to choose love, to choose the divine over all of the distractions that are available. But sweet one, you are walking your sacred path, and there are so many supporting you.
Oh, thank you so much, sister. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is beautiful. Thank you for that opportunity.
Oh, thank you for giving us. Yeah, it's just so peaceful. For any of the viewers who may be on first time on my platform today, I don't take the questions, and I don't know, Alania, can you see any viewers that might be you can't see?
Wait, let me see. I can. I went into chats, but I don't see them.
Okay, and
now I hope I can get you back. Oh no, I'm done.
I can see you.
You
still.
can. All right, so then I'm just gonna leave it because I can't.
Sorry. Yeah, you're still on the camera. You're still on the platform.
Yeah,
but I was going to ask if the reason I was asking if you could see any of the viewers, or if we would take some questions. But if that's not the case, and now that Alania can't even see us,
I can't see you. I'm just gonna love you.
It's all perfect. So I would encourage anyone who is watching now or whenever it is that you tune in, if you have questions or comments, please just post them, and I always go back through, later and try to reply and respond. And I'll invite Alania, of course, to please honor us when she gets a chance to tune back into and see if there's any questions for her, if anybody, has anything specific.
I did get to the comments area. I figured it out. I can't figure out how to get back, but
okay. Well, we'll tag team in that way then. So, are there any questions or that anybody has?
Pam says hello, and there's a lot of hellos. Great show. This is beautiful. And Kiki says she tuned in late, but she appreciates the messages from the book, and blessings and light to love and to all of us. So now that they know, we will know how to get to these messages and comments next time. They're welcome to leave them.
Yes, absolutely. And Alania, I know that, let's see, looking at the clock here, I know if I'd like to give you a little time to plug your event this evening. That is an open event, or?
So tonight's, and I will put it in the comments below, or
okay.
Best way is to go to my website so that you're not waiting for me. But for the full moon, I've been guided to offer a free full moon divine attunement tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be a Zoom live stream, so you have to register first to be part of it. And if you go to my website, alaniastarhawk.com, under the sacred events, you'll see it. I think it's even if you go into the blog, you'll see it also. But the event will sit there. It only takes your name and your email address to register. And as soon as you do that, you're going to get the information. Okay. So snapshot that screen so you'll have the information to join us tonight at 7 p.m. And that will be about 60 minutes, but it's all energy. It's all channeling. There's a lot of upgrades and downloads that will take place. We'll let spirit guide it all, but you are welcome to join us. Please do. And you're welcome to share that energy. And I have another, so I'm very passionate about going into deeper journeys, deeper programs, and I'm always creating new ones for us in our community. But we have a phenomenal one starting this Saturday, September 5th. And it's called Soul Knowing, a 21-day creative writing program. Now, it's not about writing perfectly. It's about tapping into your soul's voice, tapping into your own truth. This is about you giving voice to these insights and revelations from within your soul. Because people come to me and they are inspired by the way I'm able to go deep and then receive. But it's been practice, right? It's been practice. I trust the voice that's coming from within. So in these 21 days together, I will be creating many energetic clearings or activations to open us up. I will be suggesting writing prompts. I will be giving you tips, tools, exercises, and we'll all be inspiring each other. But it's 21 days of creative writing. And it came from me loving to write. But I make writing sometimes a hobby. It's always one of the last things I do. And I realized that for me to keep bringing up all these wisdoms, I need to make writing a priority for myself. And I believe the same is true for each of you, right? You have a voice. So even if you've never officially written before, but you'd like to explore this voice that you have, we're going to focus on connecting to your guides, your guardians. We're going to focus on trusting your voice over all other voices. And it starts this Saturday, September 5th. And it is listed also on my website under sacred events and in the blog posts.
Well, that sounds like quite a journey of 21 days and a wonderful opportunity for people to talk about empowerment, and to bring up from within them, the wisdoms and the discovery of deeper levels of who they are and connectedness with spirit and all of our helpers. So it sounds like a beautiful offering. And I again, for those of you who may not be familiar with Alania and her work, she's constantly offering opportunities, workshops, etc., to help empower people and other beautiful, all souls to expand and to co-create. Or that's one of the other big themes, that we're recognizing in this new earth that we're co-creating. Is it's about everyone, the unity, coming together and assisting each other, less competition, more on a basis of everybody thrives, and this wisdom and the experiences. Each of us have our own experiences, and that's what makes us all so unique. Some of them can be similar, but truly we each have our own walk. And no matter how much or how close we are to others, and I speak again with some of my time with Alania and how I really first found her through some mutual friends and ended up in some of her sacred circles, and things just blossomed from there. And it's important to, as no matter what exercise you're undergoing, or what's helping you to bring out that divinity within yourself and to recognize things. And it can be even, I'll say simple, it's not really simple, but it's so perfect. Hobbies, things that you have a passion for doing. Again, we all have different things that inspire us and ignite us, and that's what truly makes us so unique, and yet all one. We really realize, we recognize, and we can be held in that way from experiences, sacred gatherings, communities, teachers. That really helps us to feel safe, to open up, to expand, and be vulnerable without the judgment, without the competition, without any of the criticism. Because so many of us, fair to say, probably all of us walking around the planet have been wounded from past experiences where there were those things that were intact only because they had been passed on, through the years. So again, thank you, Alania, for creating, all these opportunities. And what a joy to have you here today with us. So I highly recommend checking out Alania's website, Facebook page, and tonight's offering at this full moon. It is a powerful time of new cycles and transformation. So Tiffany is spot on. She's got Alania's website right up there on the screen right now. So thank you, Tiffany. And I just want to give a shout out here before we close out that please, I do not have a website as of yet, but you can find my information, my services that I'm offering on my Facebook page, Pam Silver Eagle. I encourage you, I invite you to jump in there and look and explore. And, I'm doing distant coaching and guidance now, and doing my energy medicine sessions. And if you're in my local area, which is up in Northwestern PA, I'm doing nature journeys. And that is one of my great joys. So please just take a look at what I have to offer, and knowing that when we can all move about a little bit freer, looking forward to the opportunities of taking people out in nature, workshops, retreats, etc., etc. So, Alania, my friend, thank you so much, sister. I really appreciate you being here, and I love you so much. Truly do.
I'm so thankful to you, Pam. Tiffany, thank you for this beautiful platform. Everybody who's joining us and contributing. Absolutely. I'm so inspired. All right. Thank you. Whatever I can do to support your journey, Pam, I adore you.
Thank you. Thank you. And you know that we do that for each other. And so it's truly one of those connections, as we were talking, that is a joy. And no matter how much time or space there is between us, we can pick up the phone or even just intuitively send the love or the messages. And, that's the other piece as we're getting ready to shift off the air here, but the synchronicities. And when we tune in, the synchronicities are just over the top now, right? With the thought of somebody, or, hey, I was just thinking about you, and there you are. Or, we're powerful manifestors. So watch your thoughts and be the love. And welcome everybody to come back next Tuesday on the Perch. We'll do it all again, and in a big way. So, Alania, have a blessed day. So much joy, so much love to you.
Thank you. Love to all.
Blessings to you. Blessings to
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron.
Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.